What drives you? What keeps you going? What keeps you moving forward to the next goal and to keep pushing you to go down this path to ultimately be a future champion?
The real answer, insecurity, ego, fear, things that, I can sit here and say, oh, I'm just so passionate about the sport, which I am, of course, but, you don't really like push yourself through certain things unless you've got something like really burning. So I want to win so bad, and I want to be the best guy out there. I want to be the guy that people are chasing, fear needs to be there. That's what keeps you in check. That's what keeps you in focus. I think without fear, you're just kind of running blind, It's like taking these like a Hail Mary with this Ducati program. No idea what electronics would be. Had to, ordered 2 bikes and then figuring stuff out. It's like when you turn the lights off in the basement and you feel that fear when you're running up the stairs because it's dark when you're a little kid, or maybe when you're my age, whatever. Fear is what pushes you up those stairs pretty fast. Doubt will make it so you never go down them in the first place. So.
Took the risk, rose gold paddock on my wrist. If I pull up, is it lit? Beeping by the gate, I've been beeping by the gate, I've been.
So racing in MotoAmerica Superbike as a privateer is quite a task. I feel like for sure there's quite a lot on my plate compared to some other people in the paddock as far as riders go, with running this whole team and taking it on. It's been 9 years now since I kind of started the team, and when I started it wasn't really like we're gonna eventually build this big team. It was really just, okay, I want to race motorcycles, how do I do that? Yeah, what happens before I get to the track is 95% of the job. Riding, I wish could be a little bit bigger percentage of what we do, or what I do. The moment the season ends, the season prior, I have to figure out what motorcycle we're going to race. That's usually not something you have to do every year, but last year I had to make that decision and try to do something different with the Ducati. Being able to pass off some of the technical stuff to some of my guys like Darren Marshall and Evan Steele who've been insanely helpful for me. For me, 100% of the marketing, securing the sponsors, writing all the press releases, designing the motorcycles, the trailer, everything you see in my pit area, a logo, a stripe, a color, was at one point, clicked and moved somewhere by my mouse, so.
We're out at Topgolf in Tucson, Arizona for a KW Army event. It's like a meetup for members and maybe future members to come out and hang, and partnered up with the Desmo Owners Club of Southern Arizona, Southwest area, and gonna have some fun, hit some golf balls, eat some food, and talk racing.
That's one of the things that I think is unique also, is KWR is 100% a race team and a race team only. There's no performance shop, income generating sources. There's no underlying private funding. It's all 100% funded by the sponsors you see, the KW Army fan program, and you know, whatever other income I generate coaching or doing whatever else I'm doing, speaking, you know, that's all it is. So the support is amazing, and we continue to grow and find, you know, more help along the way. People jump in, and you know, it's been really cool the last probably year and a half, seeing how many people rally behind us and see a privateer program be successful in MotoAmerica.
Yeah, today we're getting the kind of the final stages of building the bike, getting it prepared to go ride tomorrow at Indy Motorsports, which is a track near here. Be kind of our shakedown test, try out a few of the new parts, and really just make sure everything worked how we expect it to. It's been the first time Kyle's been able to ride since his surgery, so just kind of a low-key shakedown test, but we're happy to get on the track.
So for 2020, some of the major structural components are some reshaping of the fuel tank to allow for a little better rider movement on the motorcycle. We have some additional parts from course that we had, just some chassis parts just to make adjustments a little bit easier, line up a little better with what the course chassis are running, just to be able to exchange data. We have a really good relationship with course to be able to exchange some technical information, so we want to try and maximize that. And then the biggest thing is, while the electronics are the same, he hadn't ridden a bike that had the amount of flexibility you get with the Rally system. So as the year progressed, we just introduced a little more and more electronic controls for him to feel what the capabilities were, find those tenths that you're looking for each lap.
MotoAmerica Superbike is a very complex machine. Pretty much the frame is probably the only thing that's left stock, and even that you can move the steering stem and the swing arm pivot in. Aftermarket suspension, Öhlins forks and shock. We have a custom made gas tank, fuel tank, the extra capacity. It's actually a lot of work to make for this bike. Chains, sprockets, gearing, wheels, tires, like Dunlop slicks for the racetrack, clip-ons, rear sets, you know, just on and on and on. Like literally every piece other than the frame has probably been modified or changed.
Yeah, so we are in very, very constant communication with Ducati Corsa in Italy and the Barney racing team, another World Superbike team that works closely with Ducati Corsa. They've been helpful with a lot of different information, you know, especially with the electronics and things. Our bike is very different from a, you know, V4 RS or like a kit, you know, World Superbike. So for us, we're kind of creating our own path with a lot of different things. A lot of stuff is relevant. We do, you know, we get a lot of help from those guys, but you know, it's this is really a true privateer effort. You know, I'm just trying to put the best people in positions that I can so that we can blaze our own path, because at the end of the day, if we have to rely on anybody else to get our results, you know, we're just not going to get them.
So we're heading to Indy Motorsports Ranch right now. We're going to shake down the bike, hopefully before it gets dark. And we're rushing around the last couple days in the shop trying to get this thing going. Got about 2 hours of daylight left, so we get the warmers on for a little bit. They got the school going on right now, so I'm sure the students will be out watching us rip around on the V4 R. It's in the back right there, so she's all ready to go. We're going to give her a rip.
So to talk about my injury and the surgery, you really got to go back quite a ways. When I was 17, I broke my neck and back in a backyard flat track training accident. So three vertebrae in my neck and 2 in my upper back. So from then I've had mobility issues. Probably halfway through the season, I severely herniated a disc, and it was pushing on the nerve outlets and things like that. So I was struggling. I flew around to see a bunch of different doctors and things, and ended up having a artificial disc replacement, so a complete discectomy where they pull the entire disc out at the C6, C7 level, and I was off the bike for 4 months this winter, which is probably the longest I've ever been off a bike in my whole career. And but I feel better than I've ever felt.
We're here at Auto Car Club in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we're getting ready to do our livery unveil. We got probably 300-400 people coming, I guess, so it's going to be a big deal, and I can't wait. It should be fun.
How you guys doing tonight? Something that out of all the events that we've done, we've actually not had something so cool, but it just happened to be something that's an important announcement for us here in the US, and also from a guy who just lives right down the street.
The kingdoms rise from a million thieves, glory hungry, all fiends, fame, worth, monopoly, praise, worship, the art of me. Yeah. Gold stacks off slave backs, slave trade, cut king's checks. We all kings in our own schemes, scheming for high-rise flyer things. We king our throne till we dead and gone. Ha.
Up the livery reveal, pretty awesome here at Auto Car Club. Man, it couldn't have been better. The place is a packed house, shoulder to shoulder. So, looking forward to getting this thing on track. Alright, so we're inside the trailer because it's about 40 degrees out. Forecast said it was going to be 68. Sometimes the weatherman's wrong, so we're still gonna send it, bud. So throw some warmers on it and try to get some laps in. Something. Keep riding.
It's funny because when we got married, I did end up changing my last name. My last name's legally Wyman. So I kind of have two separate identities. On television and kind of my media persona, I'm Hannah Lopa. And when the cameras turn off and we head into the race trailer for the night, I can be Hannah Wyman. So it's also kind of important to me to maintain my own identity separate from Kyle Wyman Racing as far as my career is concerned. I see all of the behind the scenes, things people don't really normally see. He wakes up hours before I do and goes and sits at his desk, and if it weren't for the fact that I was home, he would probably forget to eat and work right through lunch. So I'll wake up and he'll make me a cup of coffee because I hate being woken up, and I will make him breakfast. I think he's very independent and very self-sufficient, but that's really my most important job, is slowing him down and making sure that he takes a moment to just enjoy life and to stop working and to try and have some kind of normalcy and some kind of like downtime.
Yeah.
It took us a long time to get to a point where we were really comfortable with the package we had, and that really didn't happen until maybe the last 2 rounds of the season. And we have worked very long and hard to set ourselves up for success in 2020. And we're sitting here, it's mid-February, and we're further than I've ever been with any bike, with any program, in any class or series I've ever raced.